guys, it's Nick with Smith Forge Strength and Conditioning. Today we are here to work on another variation of ankle dorsiflexion mobility. So dorsiflexion, as I've mentioned in previous videos before, is what allows you to bring your toe up while running, squatting, whatever. So in order to have sufficient dorsiflexion during proper gait or during running, we need about 15 degrees. And so this is oftentimes a big limiting factor for people being able to complete their exercises, to where, you know, you may not directly have pain in the ankle, but might work up the chain up into the knee, into the hip. So what we have going here is we have a pretty thick resistance band that's actually wrapped around the talus. So what we're focusing on is the talocrural joint especially. So that's where the actual tibia and the talus actually work together. And so what we're trying to do, the force of the TheraBand is actually pushing the talus posteriorly, which allows the ankle to come up, or the foot to come up a little bit higher. So what we're trying to do is, what I have Blake having to do here is, we're actually having his knee actually go past his toes. And so because the ankle is triplanar, we don't necessarily have to work directly, you know, the knee directly over the toes in the center. He can kind of glide around and figure out where things kind of get stiff. Some people, you know, pushing to the outside, pushing to the inside, and what he can do is apply that extra force like he's doing right now and really kind of find where the sticky spots are. And so this is something that would be good to work on, you know, before you're lifting. If you're about to hit a heavy squat session, you're about to run, and this is a nagging part for you, this is something you can work on. As far as time amount to get in there, if it is a nagging injury, you want to spend, you know, 5-10 minutes a day total. So if before your workouts you're spending 5 minutes, and, you know, at the end of your day another 5, really work in there and see where you feel like you need the most amount of work to open that up.
So I just finished doing a squat test with Blake, and one of the things that we're seeing is he's got a little bit of insufficient dorsiflexion when he's in the bottom of his squat. And so I did a squat test with him just to kind of see where his primary impairments are. And what you kind of tend to see with that is you might have your heel may come off the ground, or another thing you might feel is your toes kind of push outward, because you're just trying to find some way to compensate for that lack of range of motion. So this exercise is really nice because you can still address the ankle mobility, kind of like what we did with the TheraBand before, but being able to practice that squat position and be a little bit more specific as to where that area feels a little bit more restricted. So what I have here set up is just another resistance band, and Blake's going to go into a squat, and that actual band is going to go around his waist. So what that's going to allow him to do is, when he's sitting in the hole or the bottom of the squat, he's not going to want to fall back. So obviously tied to something that has some good oomph to it. So he's able to get into the bottom of his squat. Now obviously he doesn't need to go, you know, butt to grass like this, but what it allows him to do is really kind of then emphasize that shift over to that right side, which tends to be his more limited side. And so what he's really trying to do is he's actually getting his knees anterior to his toes, which is okay in this case. And this would be like more of an Olympic lifting type of squat. And what he's going to do is he's going to find those nagging areas like we had talked about before. So being that the ankle is, you know, stiff and triplanar, as you can see, as he's shifting over, his heel is coming up. And what I really want him to do is to create that pattern of being able to keep him pretty stuck on the ground. So I'm going to apply a little bit of a posterior glide, meaning I'm going to apply it backwards towards his butt. And he's just going to kind of shift over that. And if he starts to feel that his heel is coming off the ground, he's going too far. And as he practices this more, it'll start to open up. But this is a way to kind of work on that ankle dorsiflexion in a more functional position, considering that squat is one of his impaired motions. So these are just a couple different more options. You guys have been asking me some questions of ways to mobilize the ankle, and I hope these are helpful for you. If you guys have any questions, feel free to contact me. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.